Throw me into any studio and I will be able to function to the very least at a moderate level.
This a Nebula Gray production, babe.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm MASON.EXE. I'm an artist, producer, and engineer based out of New York, and I've had a pretty dope journey over the years. So I started this channel so I could share a few things with y'all and share a little bit of an introduction on myself. I started making music, when I was like 15 years old. I'm in my 30s now, right? And in the years that I've been making music, I've bounced around between several doors. I've been working EQs, like learning scales and kind of just figuring out what I wanted to do. But all I know is I wanted to make a really, really cool song when I was younger. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten the opportunity to work with artists, check out their perspective on the process, their journeys, their stories and whatnot, and learn from that. So I started off when I was 15 and I went public in 2021 with my first album, New Black Panther. And it was a pretty dope success for someone who's never dropped a project before. I got 20,000 streams within its first 3 months. I managed to take a couple of music videos as well, and all of those are in the thousands. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. You can go check out my other page, the Mason.exe profile, which is like right over here, I think. Still getting used to this YouTube thing, but it's somewhere over here in this area. And since then, I've dropped a few singles, and I've also dropped a couple more albums as well, namely Critical Condition and System-Wide Shutdown, all three of which you could find on my Spotify, Apple Music, and other DSPs as well. Link in the description. In 2022, I had a devastating house fire. I lost everything. My bedroom, my studio, $13,000 worth of gear. Gone. You know, U87, Claret Octopre, a couple of Apollos, TLM 103. The 102 was good, but it just it didn't really take noise like this. It didn't take stuff like that too well. So lost my clothes, lost my sneakers. Not only that, a week after the fire, I got let go from my job. So unemployed, no studio, everything gone. But miraculously enough, the only things that survived the studio was my actual computer, the one that I am currently recording everything on to this day, a PreSonus interface I had laying around. Never used it, never really touched it, never really bothered with it. And all the gear that I really, really cherished, everything just went to puts. And some way, somehow, that interface survived. It was pretty beat up. In fact, these buttons discolored and whatnot, you could see damage and whatnot around the USBs. Maybe I have to tilt it. I think one of these caps just outright just comes off. So that's always fun trying to figure out where this actually is in volume. So there goes that. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know how well my autofocus is gonna hold that, but you could see it looks a little worn. There's a little bit of discoloration and whatnot, and yeah, it really went to hell, but it still worked. And I managed to get out some good work with this, nonetheless. Fast forward a couple of years, and my studio is basically almost back to its former glory. I've got a couple of Lauten mics. I've got the LS208 over here. It's a beautiful mic. Cut most of my demos on my 4th album on this mic right here, so stay tuned for that. I have the Atlantis, I think it's the 387, something like that. Come on. Dope mic. Oh my gosh, that mic right there is incredible. But I won't lie, for a condenser that functions like a dynamic or serves the purpose of a dynamic and can replace a dynamic, I'm really impressed. Very impressed. It handles noise reduction very well, and this particular room that I mix in isn't acoustically treated to the highest degree, but my ears are already trained for it. So from what I can hear out of this is a pretty impressive microphone, I have to say. And we'll do an unboxing and everything like that in another video, along with an unboxing of the Lauten, because I did have content saved up for that as well. So you'll see an unboxing video for that too. Not just that, but I also took the time out to learn the business side of music and started my own company just to help me facilitate my productions, my ambitions, and, help me develop a sense of ownership. I think that's really, really important in a day where everything is like a subscription or being leased away and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy to say that I own something. Fortunately, throw me into any studio and I will be able to function to the very least at a moderate level. I started off with Sony Acid Pro with a Rock Band mic and a wire hanger. Pull the little cardboard tube out, and you take the prongs of the hanger, straighten it out, and you just kind of press it into the sheetrock of your wall and hope that your landlord doesn't notice. But yeah, that was me about 15 years ago, getting ready to learn and start this journey. This was about 2007, 2008. And then from there, I've jumped into FL Studio. Before it was FL Studio, like this was when it was Fruity Loops. Everybody had a cracked copy of that. I'm not saying that was me, but I'm just saying that it was out there. And then from there, I started to bounce around with Logic, Ableton, and then eventually Pro Tools. But my first instance using Pro Tools was a little overwhelming. There was a lot going on, and like the routing, the routing was killing me, the buses and the auxes and figuring out how to get. Okay. From there, I struggled a little bit to find my home, but for some reason, I kept on thinking about Ableton. And so, you know what? I got Ableton Standard Edition. It was like 500, 600 bucks. Oh, geez, I can't even remember how much, but it was expensive. And because I spent so much money on it, it forced me to utilize that investment. Like, all right, if I'm going to spend this much bread on it, well, sheesh, I might as well learn how to use it and learn how to use it well. Something about Ableton for me just really, really pushes the needle when it comes to efficiency, workflow. I mean, I honestly can't say that I have more fun in another DAW other than Ableton. Pro Tools is okay. FL Studio is okay for me, but I prefer Ableton. Like, even the Ableton 12 update provides auto shift, which is an auto-tune alternative. And it's not gonna replace auto-tune, but I remember back in the Fruity Loop days when Pitcher was all we had. And boy, was it bad. So, for a stock plugin, I have to say that Ableton is really doing their thing. And not just with auto shift, their EQ, their compressors, their multiband, all of their stock plugins hit like a freight train. And they're very minimal on processing power as well. So I actually do find myself using stock plugins over some of the plugins that I actually spent money on. So, that's always fun. It's almost like buying a $4,000 CL1B and then getting the soft tube version of it and then realizing, oh crap. And that's kind of why I've been in Ableton for like the last, I would say 5 years or so, maybe a little bit longer. It's home for me. Don't get me wrong, I can open up a Pro Tools session, no problem. And you're probably going to see a few Pro Tools sessions in some of my future song breakdowns. But for the most part, Ableton gang all the way. Anyway, the videos I'll be dropping on this channel are going to be more so a reflection of my journey as an artist. You'll see song breakdowns. You'll see me go through my favorite plugins. You'll see me talk about some plugins I really despise. And from there, we'll be able to kind of just figure each other out, I hope you enjoy my videos. And if you do, please, by all means, like, share, subscribe. And if you're going to drop a comment, all I ask is that you be respectful. You know what I'm saying? We all work a little bit differently from each other. And that's the thing that makes us all unique. But yeah, anyways, I'm MASON.EXE, and this is just a little chat I wanted to have with y'all. You're going to see a few more videos from me this upcoming week with a song project where I break down a very simple vocal chain to help you get started in case you're not sure or haven't really found your footing in the recording department and the engineering department. So stay tuned for more. I'm MASON.EXE, and this is a Nebula Gray and Company production. I'll catch you later.